back on this because people felt like, well, why didn't you marry her anyway before a baby came into play?
So it looks like Nelly will be dragging Ashanti to the divorce court sooner than we thought, because he just revealed out of his own mouth that he never loved her and that he only felt forced to marry her after she got herself pregnant by him. Nelly is now claiming that Ashanti baby trapped him into a marriage he never wanted to be in. This mess is actually not surprising coming from Nelly, because before Ashanti got pregnant, he never made any plans of ever putting a ring on her finger. This should have been the first red flag that he was only doing it for the baby, but Ashanti was too happy about finally getting a ring, so she didn't bother to ask why he was suddenly doing it, and now he's on Beyonce's internet embarrassing her for forcing him into it. This actually isn't the first time Nelly has embarrassed the heck out of Ashanti since they got married. He embarrassed her not too long ago when he got arrested and also got exposed for still being hooked on hard substances even after their marriage. He got himself in this mess when he got arrested at the Hollywood Casino and Hotel in St. Louis for possession after 4 ecstasy pills were allegedly found on him by police. This was just a few days after Ashanti had given birth to their baby, so you can imagine just how awful she felt when she found out that the man she just pushed out a baby for was in a casino popping pills and acting the fool. Apparently, he won a $50,000 jackpot on a slot machine that night, but when it was time for him to collect his cash, he was told that they needed to run a background check before giving him the money. They never made these conditions clear to him prior to him playing the game, so Nelly was up there confused and thinking that this was a joke. Not only that, but he claimed that he had previously won bigger amounts at the same casino without getting a background check. During this background check, an active warrant for a prior traffic stop issue came up, prompting the arresting officer to search his belongings, where they say they allegedly found ecstasy. Nelly has always had a drug and gambling problem, but a lot of people thought he would get it together once Ashanti got pregnant, but he clearly hasn't, and now he's making things worse by going around and telling people that he only got married to her because she got pregnant. He recently made this confession during an interview on the Bootleg podcast, and this is exactly why we need a petition for men to stop making podcasts. He revealed during his interview that when Ashanti told him she was pregnant, he wasn't ready to be a father nor husband because he was just spinning the block for her for fun, not to end up making her his baby mama. He said they hadn't even discussed marriage at all in their relationship, so he didn't know what to make of the news. However, he ultimately decided to marry her because he felt like that's what she wanted. Not what he wanted, but what she wanted. He just went ahead with it to make her think he was into the whole marriage thing. Whole time, if it wasn't for that baby, they would still just be fooling around in the sheets without a ring.
I think that's awesome. I think it's so dope. And by the way, kudos to you guys figuring out how to hide a wedding. How hard was that for that not to get out until after it happened?
Well, once we found out that she was pregnant, it was just like, I didn't want this to be I don't want to say like
a child out of wedlock.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, you guys were probably already planning,
Well, we hadn't talked about it
yet.
We hadn't talked about any of that yet. I hadn't, but I was like, you know what? Let's just knock this out because we're going to be doing so much and everything's moving so fast. And I didn't want to, I didn't want her to be, a baby mama.
I respect that.
Like, because we already knew where we were in life, and if we're back like this must be what this supposed to be.
A lot of people weren't here for this because they felt like Nelly fooled Ashanti into thinking he married her because she was his dream girl. The whole time he was just doing what he thought he was expected to do. One person said, Nelly said he rushed to marry Ashanti because he didn't want her to be a baby mama. That is why you do not spin the block on exes, heck no. But here's the real tea, y'all. Nelly has been embarrassing Ashanti right from the start of their relationship, but she ignored all the red flags and now she's stuck with his baby. They started messing around back in 2003 after they met at the Grammy Award conference. At this point, they weren't dating yet, but Nelly was definitely trying to get her attention and she wasn't being stingy with it either. They began hanging out, and even though the media was shipping them and even hinting at them dating, they kept flaming that they were just friends. During a 2008 interview, Ashanti said, "Me and Nelly, we're good friends. We kick it, hang out a lot. The industry is very hard, so it's good to have fun and lighten it up." Not too long after this, they finally admitted that they were in a relationship, and there were even rumors about them being engaged, but Ashanti denied this immediately, saying, "Oh no engagement, but definitely in the future." But engagement never came on though, because in 2013 they broke up, and word on the street was it was because Nelly was cheating and severely hooked on substances. Ashanti actually did a good job at moving, but when it comes to Nelly, not so much. He was going out with other women and everything, but he always made it clear that Ashanti had his heart and he would drop everything for her only if she gave him a second chance. She finally gave him a chance in 2023 to prove that he could really do right by her this time, but from the looks of things, he's not really doing a good job with that. When they popped out together again in 2023, people were actually here for it because it felt like 2003 all over again. And from the looks of it, Ashanti was waiting on him because she didn't give him a hard time once he came back. I mean, they were going on dates, performing together, and Ashanti was even throwing it back on him on stage. And before we knew it, Ashanti was pregnant. It was actually during her pregnancy announcement that we found out that Nelly had put a ring on it for her.
So many blessings in your life. Not only are you expecting a little one, you're also engaged. Tell me about the proposal. Were you emotional? Were you overjoyed?
It was just such a beautiful, intimate moment. We were not dressy.
What do you like PJs?
Yeah, I definitely had on like one of his t-shirts and his boxers. It was very, like, I had absolutely no idea.
He completely shocked you?
Completely. I mean, I felt like it was gonna come soon. I didn't know when, right? And the way that it happened was just so funny. I'm sitting in the bed watching TV with boxers on, you know what I mean? It's not really sexy.
So it was just like an intimate moment, the two of you.
Yeah.
How did you celebrate?
I cried, I gave him the biggest hug and kiss ever. I FaceTimed everyone I know.
Yeah. Was mom in tears again?
Of course.
Yes.
Mom and dad and my sister we were all in the same city. Oh, nice. So that worked out really, really good.
During an interview with Essence magazine, she said, "Motherhood is something that I have looked forward to, and sharing this with my family, fiance, and loyal fans who have been so supportive of my career is an amazing experience." Now, it's unclear how Ashanti feels about Nelly's comments about him feeling forced to marry her, but at least now she knows that he is only in the marriage for their child and not for her. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, "Nelly has been problematic since I was in high school, so nothing he does surprises me. And I love Ashanti, but don't feel sorry for her. She knows exactly who she married and procreated with." Another person said, "Nelly did an interview. He mentioned that Ashanti deserved to be a wife and that he didn't want her to be a baby mama when they found out they were pregnant. Nelly valued her in many ways that most men don't, yet people still had negativity to say. Congrats to the Haynes." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Nelly saying he didn't want to marry Ashanti? And do y'all think Ashanti should take all this as a warning sign and leave Nelly right where he's at? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.